that on an angle? Looks like it's on an angle. Is that the Virgo pedanticness coming out of me? I've learnt to let go of a lot of control over the time. Hi! There's people here! Woo! Hi! Say hi! Say hi and let me know you're here. Hi, Michelle! I'm going to share this. Hi, Renee! Woohoo! Hey, if you guys have got any questions for me, please. Hey, Narissa, I'm curious how you went today. I was thinking about you. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions about anything, alright? I'm open to ask me anything. Hey, Paola. Hey, Carl. Woohoo! So happy to have you here. Been watching your stuff, Carl. I'm a bit excited for you. Okay, so I just got to share this and concentrate for a second. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Or I'm going to talk about heart chakra stuff today. Oh, you haven't been yet? Oh, nighttime one, even better. Yum. Floats are awesome. If you haven't experienced a float before, hey, Carl, nice love heart. If you haven't experienced a float before, I highly recommend it. But if you don't like sitting in a bath of water, then I wouldn't recommend it. Everybody's different. So, okay, that's shared and that's done. Okay, so I just got off. Oh, I'm talking about the float space. Okay, so if you haven't been in a float pod before, I'll post a link in the comments so you can check it out. There'd be one in your local area. They're very popular all around the world. And it's just like a big pod of water. You might have actually seen my photos I post on Instagram when I go. And it's about a foot deep of body warm temperature water. And there's like 500 kilos of Epsom salt. I think it's around that. And you literally float in this water and for an hour. Obviously, you can go how long you want. I like it because I can totally zone out, and you know there's lots of benefits for it. Google it, but if you're feeling cold, I highly recommend it. So I'm really excited because I just got off from filming. If you might have seen, I've released Lightfield Yoga online on YouTube. So I've released some classes. There'll be more classes coming up, and obviously in the membership there are more classes as well, plus all the chakra trainings. But I just went through and filmed a whole kind of sequence of videos for YouTube, which will be available very soon because now I have to edit them and upload them. Talking about the chakras and going in depth about it all and what they do and why and all that sort of thing, because I seem to speak about this all the time, and obviously it's a big part of what I'm here to do, and like, duh, how did I not see that before? But allowing myself to kind of have that realization, I was like, oh, of course, and I've totally come alive. You might have, no worries, Carl, you might have, hey, Frankie, lovely to see you here again. You might have seen my vibrancy kind of pop up. I'm like, oh, because I've kind of let go of things that I thought that I was supposed to be doing and allowed myself to trust in what I'm meant to be doing, and it is just kind of flying. So if that's a message for you in itself, if something's not working, can you just let it go? Sometimes there's a fine line between actually pushing and actually breaking through to something, and actually knowing when it's the wrong path, and that comes in a big of trusting your intuition and being able to trust the divine messages and your intuition and your feelings about what you're actually supposed to be doing. Because sometimes we can be feeling something and our head will get in the way. So I just went through and I filmed all the 8 chakras or the 9 chakras. I just spoke about them. So I've just come down from the top, because if you know, I speak about the chakras, and when I teach, I come from the crown down. I don't come from the base chakra up. And I'll talk about that in depth on the YouTube videos that I'm just about to release. But the point I'm wanting to speak about right now is that when I was like, oh, what am I speaking about on live stream? I just got about the heart chakra. And when we feel into something, so our heart is our clairsentience, it's our, it's our feeling, right? So people say your gut feeling comes from your gut. Well, it's actually your heart, and it's actually your heart chakra. And when you actually, able to drop into that, it's like being able to trust this over this, because your heart, for a lot of people is not a very strong muscle, and that's why most of society is stuck up here in the ego mind. And it's very easy to go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm really loving, but then something will trigger and we'll flick back up here, or we're not present for very long at all at any given moment in time, because when, you know, there's many reasons for us not being able to stay in our heart. One, it is a muscle and it needs discipline and practice to stay in your heart and out of your mind. You know, two, you know, we've been brought up in society to live here out of fear and ego and, you know, all that sort of thing, rather than here and connection and compassion and, you know, kind of oneness and, you know, have an awareness for everyone in society. And, you know, number three is there's a lot of trauma, can be a lot of trauma in the body that stop people from wanting to be in there. So again, I talk about this in the YouTube videos, and you know, it's why I come down so that we're able to be in our body rather than, you know, up there and living from our head up. So the thing that I wanted to share, right, was this whole thing. What did I call the live stream? Oh yeah, letting it in or pushing it away, right? And it's this, because when I just did the chakras then, it's for throat chakra. It's like, but also for heart chakra. So when I was creating the light field yoga and when I created the heart chakra sequence, it's like, you know, so many people in society walk around with a concrete wall around their heart because they don't want to get hurt again, right? So we've got these hardened heart chakras. And, you know, the reality is that, you know, these concrete walls or these armor that we have up protecting ourselves from our heart so we don't get hurt again, you know, if a past relationship hurt us or, I don't know, family split up or something hurt you in your past, doesn't matter how far back or how soon, there's some sort of, you know, hurt around the heart, okay? Now, we put that up because we think if we put this wall up, we're not going to get hurt again. Yeah, a big shield, exactly, right? And it's a very energetic thing, but you might even know that you're scared to let in love or anything like that, right? And when the thing, so there's these walls, but if the truth, right, if the ultimate truth is that love is the only thing that's real, and when we drop out of here into here, nothing is wrong with this moment. I just flicked up my stingray. A stingray is actually conscious feeling in the liquid crystals. And conscious feeling is having that awareness, because when we drop into the heart, like I said, a lot of people don't like staying there because there's pain in the heart, right? And so it's kind of like, oh yeah, I can be present, but not for long because there's pain that will come up. We don't want to feel, right? So when we can drop into the heart with the support and the tools and all the stuff that I teach pretty much of having the, you know, like that conscious feeling is the way through any hurt, right? So when we can allow ourselves to drop into our heart and allow ourselves to feel consciously any of that past pain and know that that's not the truth, right? Because if the truth is love in this present moment, so when we drop out of here into here, there's nothing wrong with the moment, right? When we, right? When we breathe in and we become present, we're in our heart space. When we become present to the moment, we're in our heart space. We're present with what is. We feel the air temperature. We become conscious of what's going on. We get out of our head and into our heart. But how long can we actually stay there? And it's like this thing of having that sense in your heart. It's like the thing, like, well, quickly, if you can find something wrong in the moment, you've jumped back up into your head. Yeah? Now, when we've got these concrete walls up, like I said, we think that we're stopping out any past, you know, we're not going to get hurt again, right? We're not going to fucking let them hurt me again or anyone else. Not going to, you don't trust anyone. You're not open. You're very closed. Things don't work out. You might attract a relationship. All of a sudden it's gone again, right? Because you've got this big shield up. Now, with the thing that came to me when I was creating the light field yoga for the heart chakra, throat and heart, very interconnected, is instead of a concrete wall and instead of a shield or a big plate or something, I want you to replace that shield. I want you to replace that shield, that concrete wall, for a rose bush. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this for a while. I mean, for, you know, in the past, but I haven't talked about it for a while. And I'm needing to talk about it now. So obviously somebody's needing to hear this. And I want you to replace it with a rose bush. And this rose bush still protects you. Because the thorns on this rose bush around your heart, around your body, around your mind, around your soul, right? These thorns catch anything that's not love, like a cotton thread, and it gets tangled on the thorns, and the cotton thread dissolves, yeah? Over time, because cotton dissolves, right? But with your rose bush, the flowers, you can bloom and let in as much love as you need. Now, I was just talking about this in the heart chakra when I was describing it for the YouTube videos. So obviously the heart's big at the moment. And it's like you can open to receive love. You can open to receive anything. You can open in general. You can trust because you've got a rose bush. So anything that's not love, you can allow your rose bush to catch and know that you're protected. Now, opening your heart doesn't mean that you will never be hurt again, right? Because we have feelings, we're humans. But it does mean that anything that isn't love will get caught, and you can walk forth in openness and trust in the right now because you're letting in love. Because these concrete walls will block out any love in the right now. Because if right now, if the truth is right now is love, and you've got these walls up, well, of course you're going to feel isolated. Of course you're going to feel lonely. Of course you're not going to want to be on the planet. Of course you're not going to want to, you know, you've got anger and hurt, and, you know, you feel alone most of the time, and nobody's there for you, and they left you, and you've got no friends, and you don't have a life, and this is not working, and nothing's fucking working because you've got these walls up around your heart. It doesn't let anything in, right? But when you can change that for a rose bush, and allow that flower to open, and you allow energy, you allow life, you allow things in, yeah, to your body, to your being. So when you exchange your concrete walls, your shield of armor around your heart for your rose bush, you're able to shift your entire energy field. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't feel pain, doesn't mean that you won't get hurt, like I said, and it's allowing that conscious understanding, right, of the stingray. Well, it's actually manta ray is the totem animal for the liquid crystals. Just going to see if I can find the card. And it's conscious feeling, right? It's about having enough awareness around yourself, your past, your, you know, all of that, and being able to see what's really going on in your heart so that you can stay in your heart space, so that you can stay in that space of, you know, being able to hold yourself and consciously feeling what's going on, knowing that that isn't the truth of the situation. Now, this has actually been coming up for a lot of people private messaging me, actually, and I've been helping a lot of people, so it is really relevant, and I'm sure it's helping you in some way, shape, or form. Because when we have conflict with somebody, it's obviously very head, we're triggered from old stuff, you know, and when you can approach the situation from love, from your heart, knowing that even though you might be feeling hurt, even though it wasn't your fault, even though you won't get an apology from that person, even though you won't, you didn't contribute what they're saying that you did, right? Even if they're blaming you for something that you actually didn't do. When you can hold yourself in your heart space, when you can be here rather than here, and taking what they're saying as an attack, taking what they're saying as relevant, you know, it's kind of like they're hurting as well, right? And yes, you may be hurting. Yes, you may not get the support from them that you need, and even the acknowledgement that you're hurting, right? But when you can come from here and hold that space for that person, that's when the transformations happen. That's when the miracles happen. That's when stuff shifts, yeah? Because when we're in that heart, and if love is the only thing that's real, well, that person and everything that's going on for them, that stuff isn't real either. Yes, it's valid. Yes, it's important. Yes, we might both need to make changes. However, at the truth and the core of the situation, all that's going on is that they're hurt, you're hurt, that hurt needs to disappear, and what comes underneath the truth of hurt? What is underneath hurt? What is underneath all that stuff? When everyone's had their cry and everyone's had their whinge and all the anger and shit's gone, what is left? Obviously some needs are needing to be met, yeah? But obviously as well, there's a space, like there's love. At the core of everything is love. And when we can stay at that heart space Yes, thanks for the love hearts. At the core of everything is love. And when we can train ourselves to stay in our heart and out of our head, that is when the miracles happen. That's when the shifts happen, yeah? I hope that's helped you. I obviously needed to talk about the heart chakra and replacing your concrete walls for rose bushes. I am excited to release these YouTube videos that I just spent the past 2 hours recording for you. I'm just trying to find the liquid crystal card for the stingray, the manta ray, because it flicked up in my face before. It's about consciously feeling what's going on without attaching to anything. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know while I'm trying to find this card. And I'm finding this card because these images have power in them. Oh my god, it's like right in the middle of the deck, and I started from the top and then I started from the bottom. Okay, so, I'm going to flip the screen around so you can see it properly. Flip. Okay. Lepidolite, conscious feeling. Okay, I'm going to activate this. And this is a liquid crystal card for manta ray or stingray. It's actually my purpose crystal too. So funnily enough, that I teach about the heart, and my business logo happens to be a heart, and teaching you about staying in your heart and teaching you about love. At the core of everything is love. So kind of quite relevant. So doesn't look like there's any questions coming through. I might have given you all a bit to think about. I'm replacing those concrete walls for, or your shields of armor for a rose bush, and allowing that to sink in. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else too. So, okay, so if you are having trouble attracting a relationship or staying in a relationship, obviously I'm teaching the Calling in Your Soulmate course at the moment, so the doors are closed, but we're working through that. But there's a lot of gold, and people who are attracting relationships left, right and center and going deeper with their current relationships in this. And it's pretty amazing to watch, but I'm also finding that a lot of people are contacting me and they're having relationship issues, and they're also, you know, having trouble even finding a relationship, or it's hard to keep a relationship, right? And what I want to say to that is that, so for people who are having trouble, like keeping a relationship, like you might meet someone but it doesn't work out, but you want it to, and you're like, what's going on? Or, you know, or maybe just not finding the right person. I really want you to stop looking out there. And it's kind of the first thing that I teach in Calling in Your Soulmate. Whilst we do call them in, the rest of the kind of course is going within and kind of forgetting about them out there, right? Because whatever's going on inside of you is being reflected out there, as you know. Now, with the having trouble kind of keeping a relationship or even finding the right person, right? It's like getting really clear about what you want in relationship and writing this down. Now, this is in the free training as well for Calling in Your Soulmate. I might set that up and share the link for that too, because that's all just sitting there. So all this content, I've got all this amazing content sitting there for you guys. I'm excited because I'm getting so clear about what I actually do now, and I'm so excited to release these YouTube videos next week for you. So with with having trouble keeping or finding that relationship, that right relationship, is like get super clear about what you want, because you find a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I know what I want, but then you go to write it down, it's like, actually I don't know what I want. And if you're having trouble in your relationship, I want you to write down what you enjoyed about the relationship when you first met them, right? So get clear, write down what you want in a relationship. Your next step is then to make sure that you're actually living that. Are you stepping up, and are you being those qualities that you actually want in a person? Because what's happening is that if you're not finding the right person, or you're attracting a relationship and you can't keep it, you might want certain things in a partner, but if you aren't being that and living that yourself, then you're trying to fill a hole, right? An energetic hole. But when you can, you know, so you might pull that in, you might go, oh, there's that quality in that person, and like, yeah, this is what I love in this is what I love in that relationship. And then they kind of leave or whatever, because you are trying to fill that hole or that quality within yourself with that person. So when you can get clear on what you value and what you need in a relationship, and then work on living and being that yourself, what you're doing is you're filling your own hole, so to speak, and that fills your hole, so that becomes who you are. And then you meet someone who is that as well, and it works in synergy rather than this unhealthy, like, got to fill me up or got to fill them up, right? And that's where the unbalance comes in relationships. So when you can work on filling those attractive qualities in yourself, that's when the magnetic vibration happens. That's when the aligned magnetic vibration happens, yeah? So if you're having trouble doing that in relationship or finding that, that's the first step that I definitely recommend. So towards the end of next week, I'll get all that free audio training set up again, because you can work through that in yourself if it's something that really calls to you, and taking your relationship deeper. If you're having relationship issues currently, it is about looking within as well, because you could leave a relationship, and yes, you need to trust yourself over what I'm telling you. But you could leave a relationship and try and go into another relationship, and it'll be good for a while, and then the same shit will happen, and you'll be like, oh, well, why is this happening again? Because and so if you're unsure about leaving a relationship, look within first, like own your part in it, your contribution to the situation. Take stock of what you're doing and shift that within you, and then reassess, right? Rather than running away, because when we're in relationship, we're just learning about each other. We're learning more about ourselves. We're learning about, you know, the other person, and we grow in consciousness and involvement, you know, and whether it's an intimate relationship or somebody else in your life or a work colleague or something like that, it's all the same thing. We're working on becoming more conscious of ourselves through other people. That's why there's lots of us on the planet. So I'm just going to pull a card in relation to the live stream that I've spoken about, and I've spoken about the heart chakra. Oh, that's why I didn't actually speak to that. So letting it in or pushing it away is what I was talking about at the start of this live stream. If you just joined the live stream, you might want to go and rewatch it. So letting it in or pushing it away is that, you know, if you got that concrete wall around your heart, you're going to be pushing away relationships. You're going to be scared. You might open and like, oh yeah, and then all your stuff will come up, and you'll be like, oh, I'm not sure about this, and then you'll like break it off, or you'll mistrust them, or you'll have trust issues, or whatever's going on, right? So you'll push away the love rather than having that rose bush and letting it come in and consciously feeling and working through stuff that goes on as it comes up, right? So that's kind of a snippet of what I just explained on this live stream. And I've just pulled for this heart chakra live stream, funnily enough, a green card, which is the heart chakra, green calcite, letting go. So letting go of your concrete walls, letting go of your armor, letting go of, you know, thinking that you're going to get hurt, letting go of distrust. Like I said the other day on live stream, if you need to be shown something in relationship, you will be shown 100% of the time. You know, so just trust in that, and, you know, trust that, you know, you will be shown at the right time. Yeah, sure, Viv, no worries. I did go into a lot more detail than that little snippet that I just shared then, so definitely go and rewatch. For sure. So the letting go, I was just getting another message about that as well. Oh yeah, so letting go of, like, you know, trying to control situations and outcomes, because that comes from a very fear-based space. So again, coming from the mind rather than the heart, which I spoke about the whole live stream. Whereas the heart's very trusting. The heart's very, if love is the only thing that's in this current moment now, then, you know, love is trust, because if everything is love, well, then there's nothing else. There might be things that don't look like love, but under those things that don't look like love is a cry for love. Yeah, famous quote from Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love. Yeah, anything that doesn't look like love is a cry for love. Yeah, fear is a cry for love. And when we can allow ourselves to stay here, hold that space and be in that space, we fully trust. And, you know, if you're in relationship and you've got trust issues, you fully, hey Robin, if you're in a relationship and you have trust issues, it's about bringing your energy and calling yourself back to yourself and trusting in love that, you know, you are 100% in alignment 100% of the time. If there's anything that you need to be shown in relationship or the situation that you're not trusting, you will be shown. You won't have to look for it. It will turn up in your reality because you're 100% connected to your heart. You trust, you walk forward in love, and anything that is not love is shown, is released, is there. Yeah, so don't try and hold on to situations. Keep dropping into your heart. let go and trust and know that you are 100% supported. And if you still have troubles trusting, well, obviously I have got Trust Your Intuition and the doors are open. So if you're not in there already and any of this that I speak to you about is calling you, then you need to get into Trust Your Intuition. So we start next Wednesday. So the 11th, the 12th of July is when we start. So the doors are open for Trust Your Intuition. This is the third round. I was very intuitively guided to open the doors of Trust Your Intuition, and this, you know, enables you to come out of here and into here, because when we are able to have that conscious understanding and heal what's blocking us, you know, from that trust, right? So it might be all well and good to go, oh yeah, cool, I'm just going to stay in my heart now. Doesn't happen, does it? Because you still get triggered, and it's hard to stay in your heart when you're triggered, right? It's a process, and it's a discipline, it's a practice, but then it's, you know, there's muscle training, all that sort of thing. But when the stuff still comes up, it's like, well, how do I discipline myself to stay here when the, you know, this is still going on? And it's like, well, you know, when you're right in it, it's hard to stay here. Yeah. So in Trust Your Intuition are going to the depths of being able to shift all these blocks out, so that you're able to, you know, have that sense of trust in yourself, in spirit, in, you know, being able to walk forward in faith with, you know, that sense of complete trust and love, right? It's hard to describe in words what the feeling of love is, like that beingness and the sense of groundedness and trust and the ultimate trust, letting go. And it's not like a no responsibility, carefree, you know, it's a different energy. It's a complete trust in spirit, complete trust in yourself, complete trust in your soul and your intuition to be able to be there for yourself, yeah? And other people. So Trust Your Intuition is open. If any of this speaks to you and you're not in Trust Your Intuition, then you need to get your ass in there. Please PM me if you have any questions about Trust Your Intuition. The doors are open, like I said, but only for a short time. We start on Wednesday, so Tuesday is the last day that you can get into the course. There's an amazing group of people in there already, and I'm excited to have new students in there because it calls to a certain group of people. And if you are wondering about what your life purpose is, or if you're ready to step up and reclaim your power and actually be one of those inspiring people that you look up to, like you see on internet or you follow or anything like that, then it is time to reclaim your power and, you know, stop hiding behind these masks, and allow your true heart to be seen. Yeah, allow your love to shine. So please send me a message. Thanks for the love hearts, guys. If you have any questions about Trust Your Intuition, I will post a link in the comments below. And remember, keep it really real. Stay in your heart. Lots of love. Namaste.